Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Are you hey okay? In your neck of the woods? What up? What up? Manners and respect, man. And your girl, Debbie from Donga Yard. Welcome you all to the Jamaican kitchen. Welcome once more. It is the Jamaican cooking journey. If you're new right on over here, special welcome. Those of you who are there with me from the beginning of this journey and you're still here, manners and respect. Any birthday past, happy belated. Any to come, happy birthday when it comes. And if today is your birthday, whenever you're watching this video, happy birthday from the Jamaican cooking journey. On today's episode of the Jamaican cooking journey, we will be preparing some Bulgar wheat porridge. Quite a few times people have asked to show how I do it. I don't really do it often, but it is a really nutritious, I would say healthy porridge too, because it's wheat. So I've got here, this is what it looks like before I get it to this stage. So this is the Bulgar wheat. This seems more like, some are more old. This is old, a semi-whole, but some are more old than this. Now what I have done, the very first thing you want to do, you want to put, you know, whether a cup or half a cup in your, and you wash it through your strainer or your sieve. You want to wash this thing thoroughly, because you know, say I'm an angle before. But what I want to say to you, it is something like oats. Whilst you soak it, the volume increases. So this was like 1 cup, and I've been soaking it now for about 3 to 4 hours. And this is what it looks like. Okay? This is what it looks like. So you need to know, get your proportions straight, because it doubles and goes up in volume soon as the water gets it. I think there is some former, what I say, camera girl, some former bulky starch to it, but you can Google, you can, you know, and some people, you know, them just know everything, so you can just, what you don't know, read upon it. I don't know a lot either. I know when I was a little girl in the country, we would get it every day for lunch. The government would provide it for lunch for us at the schools in the country. That's what I know, and it's really nutritious. That me know about it. So right on over here, I've got my water coming, which is boiling, with some nutmeg mace and some cinnamon leaves. Organic they are. If you don't have the cinnamon leaves or the nutmeg mace, you can get store-bought cinnamon powder, and you can get grounded packaged nutmeg mace. I will be removing the cinnamon leaves at some point, and I can remove the mace, but I want to say to you, I don't think I'll remove the mace today. The mace can be cooked, and when they are cooked and come with the porridge, when you taste them, you will taste the flavor. You don't want to put a lot though, because it's sort of a little tantalizing on the tongue, but it is a spice. So you can cook and it will come soft, the maize, and then you can enjoy it with your porridge, right? With this bulgur, I am going to put 2 fingers of green bananas. So I'm going to peel them. I'm going to blend it with some. I may not do all. So probably you could do like half a cup of the pre-soaked bulgur wheat with 2 fingers of green banana. We say 2 fingers. Some people say 2 seeds. In Jamaica we say 2 fingers. You know, you could use half of a green plantain with it too, or you can put a little cornstarch. Okay, now so I am going to use about a half of this, which would be equal to about half a cup, and I'm going to whip it out with my green bananas in the blender. So therefore my porridge is going to finish as quick oats as opposed to the old-fashioned oats. So I'm going to do this now. So remember, you know, this was 1 cup, so we are using about half of it. Try to be accurate. You could soak it with coconut milk and you would end up with a better flavor. Not very, you know, a little more, you know, coconut milk gives porridge a nice flavor. All of them something. So this is my half cup of pre-soaked bulgur wheat. I'm gonna go now, peel 2 green bananas, cut it up in there, and I'm gonna come back to blend it on the blender. We want to get it smooth as opposed to that roughness. Okay, now family, I'm right back at you, and this is what it looks like, the blended bulgur wheat and the green banana. Now, I know you're gonna ask me, say, Debbie, couldn't I just cook it? Yes, you can cook it. As I tell you, as I told you before in prior clip, you can just treat it like old-fashioned oats, and I'm treating this as quick oats. Okay, so when you have the old-fashioned oats, when you cook the porridge, you taste them, you know, the big oats in there. When you use the quick oats, you know you're not taste nothing much. So I just choose to use it this way. And I'm gonna say now, you don't have to pre-soak it, but you know you have to cook it a longer time because it takes a little time to cook. As if you know the old-fashioned oats, it take a little time for cook. So choose the method, choose the way you want to do it. Now I'm gonna come right here now, and I'm gonna be removing my little cinnamon leaves. Remember, if you don't use a cinnamon leaf, you can use the cinnamon powder, and don't do like what you do right there. So make sure say you're up in the cooking before you do something like that. I am not going to remove my nutmeg mace because, as I told you before, them have a nice flavor when you know when you eat them in the porridge. Okay, what you want to do too, you don't want to start this thing with too much water. You want to have it thick so you can always add additional milk and additional water. You don't want to start it too thin, like with the old water. So let's go now. The water is boiling. We can put the flame back up a bit, and as per usual, you have some extra hot water and all of that over there. So you could also, did I say that, use coconut milk to substitute the water. So we're gonna get out all of this thing here in the hot water. Remember, when it hits the hot water, it's gonna start getting thick. You know everything with porridge, just so them something they go get the flame up and all of that. Let me get this on for you to see what is happening. You see that? It reaches the hot water and it starts getting thick. We have scoop out all of this niceness here, you know, because we need it, you know, because cold time now, pure flooding and storm, all of this thing there, so we want it. We've got a little bit in here, so we want to get a little tap water. I mean, I have no hot water in my pipe, so I'm going to use this with a little of this hot water to rinse my blender out and to get all of this out inside of me little something there. And all of them something. I need all of this to get right out into my pot. Now we are gonna start stirring this porridge for it to start cooking. Remember, now that we have blended it out, the cooking process won't be as long as if we had not blended it. So it's there and all of that. So let us have it starting to cook. And you're gonna stir. This is what is gonna help to give it some body. You're gonna stir as you go along. Real stirring, real stirring. So we are gonna have this stirring until it starts cooking and start coming together, and then I'll come back. So we are right back, family, and this porridge is coming to a thick consistency. So what you want to do, you want to do some stirring, because even though we have blended it, it's not the sort of wheat that can blend out smooth. It has some grains there, but it's just that they are smaller, so that's why we opt to blend them. So as they cook and as they break down, the porridge becomes thicker. If you are using a piece of green plantain with it, you got to know how much, because it's going to be too thick on you. So you have to give this a little time for it to cook, and then you stir as you go along, it thickens. At this point now, I'm going to be adding my little spices. Liquid, I'm using a little vanilla. I'm using about a tablespoon in that, and you can feel free to use what you want to use. Try not to put too much cinnamon. I'm using a little almond essence to bit up the porridge, because it will be bitterish. And also I'm going to be using a little freshly grated nutmeg at this time, where it can go and cook out. And I'm not going to use a lot, because I'm going to tell you the story of my nutmeg thing already. I guess I did. I don't think I did it on this channel, and that is enough for me, and so on. So we are going to also put a little salt in. Not all of the salt. See, it's thickening up. You see it? It's thickening up. Okay. So I'm going to put about 1/4 teaspoon of salt right there. Now when we're sweetening, we might have to, you know, draft it a little more. So constant stirring, you know, scraping around the edges and all of that to make sure it becomes thick. If it's not stirred properly, it will start sticking to the bottom of the pot. We're going to let this cook, and then we are going to return, because we're going to be using some evaporated milk to achieve that creamy texture. And also we're going to be using sweetened condensed milk for a sweetener. Choose what you want to do. Do you, not me. So come. So we are back. This porridge is really easy to make, fam, as long as you pre-soak the wheat. You know, so you see it's getting a little thicker each time, because as I told you, as the wheat breaks down, the cooking, the heat, it becomes thicker. Now is the perfect time to add some evaporated milk, and we want to get it a little more on the creamy side. I'm going to be adding about, this is about, I don't know how many. I'll put it for you in the description, and you will see what is going to happen. As I stir this in and it dissolves and comes together, it is going to let the porridge become creamy. And let me stir it in thoroughly right in front of your eyes, so you will see what I mean by becoming creamy. Okay, this is the creamy look. Let's stir it in thoroughly. You need to stir thoroughly after each addition. You stir when you put in your evaporated milk or your cow's milk, your almond milk. You need to stir at this point because it's on the heat right around the edges, and stir in the middle for everything. If it's catching at the bottom of the pot, for everything to have that creamy look. This is what it looks like. This is the creamy look. You're going to have your flame now down to the lowest point, and you're going to come a few times to stir it occasionally, tasting for perfect spice, and tasting most of all for your salt intake. So I'm going to do that, and when I return, we'll be just sweetening. And when you're ready to sweeten, the porridge must be turned off. You cannot cook the porridge whilst you're sweetening it, or the porridge should not be cooking whilst you're sweetening it. And also, after you're done sweetening the porridge, you have it to cook again. No, after you put in your sweetener, the porridge must be finished. Okay, family? You cannot sweeten the porridge and still have the porridge cook. That doesn't make sense, okay? So let us get within in. Because at that point, after you sweeten that porridge and continuously going back there to stir and so, you might end up having a watery porridge. Who wants that? Not me. So this is what we have right here. If you want it a little thicker, you can always blend out a little more, or the people that, you know, if you want to put a little cornstarch, you can go ahead, but at this point it is fine because we're going to use condensed milk to bring in a little sweetness into this porridge. This Bulgar wheat and green banana porridge. In times like these, the weather is changing, we need it. My son, come. Okay, family, this is what our finished porridge looks like. So I'm going to turn the flame off because I will be sweetening. At this point, I'm going to be adding 1 teaspoon of crushed flaxseed. Okay, you don't want to do too much because the flaxseed too, it has a thickening. You know, if you know about flaxseed, whether the crushed one or the old one, I have both. I just listened to you guys and got some of the crushed one, but me still have the love for the old one. But you know, you're never too old for take a little instruction. So you want to make this properly stirred in. My flame is off, remember I did tell you, because I'm sweetening. And me tell you every how it go with the whole sweetening under the flame. So you can go back to my other porridge videos. This is my sweetener. I'm going to use about half of this tin of condensed milk to sweeten the porridge. So I'm stirring in thoroughly now with the flame off. My porridge is finished. I've added enough salt to bring it up off camera, and you want to stir in for a good look at time, scraping around the edges and all of that. Make sure your flaxseed, make sure your sweetener is properly distributed through your porridge, and this is what your porridge consistency look like. Remember, as it cools down, it will get thicker. So you need to, at this point, not make it too thick, because if you make it too thick, you're going to end up have something where you have to cut like a pone or something. Okay? And all of that. And make sure you end up with a smooth porridge. So the stirring helps to break down the cooking of the grains. Also, it helps to keep the porridge lump free, makes the porridge smooth and all of that. I'll be going right here now, and I'll be putting on, let me get something, I'll soon come back, on my hand. So my porridge is all finished, and I'm gonna go pour you out some of this rich goodness. Look at this. It looks just like quick oats. I told her to treat it that way, you know. I think, and that is okay, that is fine. Okay, from my kitchen to yours, from my Jamaican kitchen to your family table, to your plate, and most of all to your stomach, it is Bulgar wheat and green banana porridge done my way, in my kitchen. Please do enjoy. With this cold weather coming up, so flooding, so rain and snow, all of them same thing, you need a nice bowl of hot porridge when you come from work in the night or before you go out to work in the mornings to warm the system. If you do like this video, remember to give me a big fat thumbs up. Remember to make sure you're subscribed to the Jamaican Cooking Journey. When you do subscribe, just press the notification bell, press the option we say all, and remember to make sure that you try to watch my little ads so I can get some more Bulgar wheat and some milk to make some more porridge. Remember to make sure that you're ordering your black cake. The number for the black cake and sauces, both numbers, they'll appear right here on the screen. Remember to be you, do you. Check the description of each and every video for what you don't know and how to get on to me. Be you, do you, most of all. Love you. Some Bulgar wheat and a green banana porridge.